So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the third session of organizational behavior. Now, in this session, we will discuss about the basic concept of individual behavior under the perspective of in the organization. Along with that, we will also cover up about the various nature, significant differences, and the different dimensions of individual behavior. Okay, and we'll also try to cover up about the different models, the psychological process of individual when it's come to the response and stimulus. So these are the portions which we're going to cover up in today's session. Okay, the first thing first, we'll discuss about what is the importance of individuals first of all in the organization. Okay, now as you can see that when we discuss about the individual behavior, the individual behaviors are basically the most important dynamics which an organization must need to assess or must need to analyze. The important thing, important consideration under individual behavior is basically how a particular person behave in a certain situation. Okay, now behaving in certain situation is basically an absolute term, because we cannot say that a particular person will behave in the expected manner what a particular organization is basically expecting from the individual, because it totally depends on so many psychological, biological combination or biological differences. Because of that, one will actually affected or influenced because of the external or internal stimuli. The important thing under this particular individual behavior is basically the response of an individual, whether it is appropriate on official grounds or you could say on professional grounds or not. That is the most important consideration which we need to keep in mind. So let's discuss very few important points about what is individual behavior. Okay, the first thing is all about, that is about the complex phenomena. It's a complex phenomena defined in absolute term, because you cannot say that one will or everyone will basically behave in the same fashion under a particular condition. So complex phenomena are based on the absolute terms. Okay, defined in absolute terms. Absolute term means each and every individual may behave under different situation differently. Okay. Now these differences, or you could say differences in individual behavior, due to psychological and biological processes. Okay, now when we discuss about the psychological and biological process, definitely as we can see that a man and women may react differently in different situation. It may be basically the thought process, the knowledge, the experience, or what the particular person perceive from a situation. According to that, he or she may react differently. For example, that sales target is given to the employees of the company. Now, how you actually accept that sales target as a challenge or as a weakness for you, it totally depends on your psychological phenomena or psychological process. How you perceive something. Okay. Now, these particular psychological phenomena and biological processes, basically, according to that, a particular individual always interpreted certain things or certain outcome for a particular situation. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the influence on influence on individual behavior, this individual behavior influence, it may be, you could say, genetic, maybe genetic, or sorry, or you could say and environmental, or it may be environmental as well. Now when we discuss about the genetic is basically like all about their, you could say, family structure, their background, their upbringing. According to that, environmental basically society or the friends, the colleagues, how they are actually affecting, how they are behaving with them. According to that, the individual behavior may also be affected or influenced because of the genetic and environmental factors as well. Okay. Now, as you can see that when we talk about the inputs given by the individuals, okay, the individual always, you could say, contribute in the organization in the form of their efforts, in the form of their skills, their ability, their time, their loyalty, their trust, their commitment towards organization. Okay, ultimately why actually a particular person is more inclined towards organization, because he or she also wants to fulfill their needs at personal level and also the organizational requirement or organizational targets as well. Okay, ultimately in return what he or she is expecting, definitely they are expecting what? About the pay, promotion, job security, increment, recognition. So when we discuss about the contribution from individual in the form of efforts, skills, ability, or we can say the time which is given by the particular person, loyalty, commitment, trust, ethics, etc. So these are the basic inputs which the particular person always get. Okay, now these inputs, for what? These inputs are for personal needs and also also for fulfilling commitment towards organization. Okay, the basic purpose why a particular person is basically giving their hard work, the hard effort in order to achieve certain things in the organization. Okay, now in return of the contribution, what he's expecting in return of contribution, in return of the contribution, one minute, I think someone is entering in the class. In return of the contribution, organization provides what we can provide. They can provide pay, they can provide promotion, what else? They can provide job security, bonus, etc. Okay, the basic, you could say, fundamental when we talk about individual behavior. And always remember, the individual behavior is also getting affected by all such important inputs and the outputs given by the company. Now the important thing is that the contributors are very, very important part when it comes to incentives, when it comes to other contribution. How a particular person is basically psychologically expecting something from the organization when it's come to the you could say the similar behavior with all individuals. There should not be any discrepancy. There should not be any, you could say, biased approach of the organization towards any particular employee. There should not be any favorism as well. So the individual behavior is basically affected by so many parameters, which may be psychological or biological, or it may be genetic and the environmental as well. Most important part. Okay. Now we'll move to the next part. Why a particular individual is basically behaving in a certain sense, that is about the nature of individual differences. But when I'm talking about the nature of individual differences, there are basically two grounds on the basis of which we always compare, we always, you could say, differentiate two individual on the basis of physical differences and on the basis of psychological differences. So let's start with these differences first. That is the differences of individual personality or individual in the company. It may be because of the two basic parameters, that is physical differences And second one would be psychological differences. Okay. Now, the first physical difference, if we talk about, it may be height, or it may be, you could say, weight. There maybe you could say body shape, because make sure each and every parameter always matters a lot. Then we have appearances. Then we can say complexion. The major, actually, we can say that. But when we come to psychological phenomena, it may be, you could say, personality. Then we can say the attitudes. Then we talk about perception. Then we discuss about motivation. And last, it is about the learning, about how one can expect, how one can actually assess a particular condition in the organization. So we can see that the major two grounds on which we can actually compare a particular individual, so that will be the part of your physical differences, and second, it may be psychological differences. I hope so it is clear, everyone. The physical differences and the psychological differences. Okay, so we should move to the next topic. If it is clear, let me unmute everyone right now. I hope so. Till this point, everything is clear. Yes, I have unmuted everyone. If you have any query, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, I have some query, and
Yeah,
you
please.
were saying that there is a differences between physical differences and psychological differences. So
Hmm.
how can we compare
Ms. Sudipta, your voice is not there actually because of network issue, might be. We can't hear you. Miss Sudipta, I think. Anyone else, please, having any query?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Mr. Prakash, please.
So when are we discussing this in each of these components in detail, or this is about it?
No, we will discuss this psychological difference in detail actually, because this personality, attitude, perception having different units later on we have in the syllabus. Okay, so
Okay.
personality will discuss in detail, attitude, types of attitude, what types of perception, types of motivation, types of learning, everything we'll discuss actually one by one. Because
So
see, physical
yeah,
differences are basically no need to discuss about, but psychological differences definitely will discuss how it affects the organizational behavior.
no, I'm just looking at the way you're going to connect it in terms of are connecting it to their thought process, that the behavior changes because of these differences from person to person. Is that the way we are going, or how is it, sir? I just want to
No,
understand.
actually, right now we are discussing only just the basic parameters,
Okay.
and by keeping in consideration how a particular person or individual, definitely we're talking right now, how an individual actually react differently in different
Mm-hmm.
environment, and that is the major part. Because when we talk about leadership, when we talk about the managers in the company, it is one of
Okay.
the most, you could say, difficult challenge which they always face to maintain the diversity, and by keeping on the top of that, by keeping the diversity and how you are managing the different culture people or different language people, different, you could say, creed people in the company, that is
Mm-hmm.
one of the most difficult challenge. And these challenges arises because of the differences in the individual behavior.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so these are
Okay.
the why these differences are there, because of all these reasons actually.
Okay.
I hope is it clear?
Yeah. Maybe as we go along, I think it will be more clear.
Yes, definitely it will be.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we should continue. Yes, fine. So we are moving to the next part because I think Mr. Prakash, this topic of personality, I think, and attitude we'll discuss might be tomorrow, I think so, in detail. Okay. So yeah, personality we'll discuss tomorrow. And then on the class of Friday, we'll discuss about 1 minute, I'll tell you. So the attitude and perception, actually, this second of the second and third part. And then we'll move to motivation, then we move to learning. Okay, so one by one, we'll cover up all these topics. I hope so, Mr. Prakash is clear. Okay, so I'm just moving to the next topic because today we are just covering the base of all these topics from personality to learning. Okay, so let's start the next part about the different dimensions of individual differences. Because as I told you already, these differences are basically arised due to, you could say, the complexity of individuals available in the company, and each and every employee or the individual working in the company belongs to different, you could say, background, different, you could say, upbringings, different states or different country, we may say. So that is the major part about it. Now, when we talk about the challenges faced by the managers and the leaders in the company, just how they are valuing differences. Okay, like if I can write it down, it's far better. Okay, so when we discuss about the valuing the differences, okay, so one of the most difficult challenge for a leader or a manager, in the company is how to value differences. It's very important part, because if you cannot value differences, definitely you won't be able to manage that hub, that pool of people in the company, because somehow you always need to keep in consideration that each and every individual having this similar right over the company's, you could say, rules, regulation, company's assets, company's, you could say, values. When we talk about, you cannot bifurcate, you cannot differentiate an individual on the basis of certain grounds, okay, which may be physical or which may be psychological as well. Okay, now the second important challenge, or second, you could say, the part is how manager is basically how manager is learning to manage diversity. Because important thing is that if you cannot manage the diversity, the major, you could say, option, because somehow when we talk about the good leaders, when we talk about effective leaders, when we talk about effective managers in the company, all these effective managers or good leaders, why we are calling it the effective manager? Because if they can manage the situation with a cool and you could say calm mind, with basically having certain sort of, you could say, exuberation. When we talk about sort of disciplines, we can talk about composure, which what they possess. These are the basically the qualities of a good manager, and how they are actually managing their troops. It's very important. Okay, now as I told you that these are the differences actually. Now what are the different dimensions of these differences, that we'll discuss in detail now. Okay, so the next and important heading now, that is about your dimensions of individual differences. Dimensions of individual differences. Okay, now there are basically four major dimensions. Okay, means on what grounds we can actually assess the differences of individual personality. Okay, the first difference is because of self concept. Second differences, second base of differences, we can say personality dimension. I'll discuss everything in detail one by one. The third part, we have abilities. And the fourth part, the important one, as well as personal values and ethics. Okay, so I'll discuss all this topic one by one. Let's start with the first part. What is self-concept? Okay, now when we discuss about this self-concept, what do you mean by self, first of all? That we need to understand. Self is what? That is one's conscious existence. Okay, if you talk about it in a very simple language, self means one's conscious existence. Okay, now when we talk about this particular one's conscious existence, it means that how a particular person analyzing himself when it's come to the organization culture, when it's come to organizational position, or their you could say work or values, if we talk about. Okay, so self concept is nothing but awareness about self. Awareness about self. Like, as you can see that, because in most of the organization or even at the personal level, if I talk right now, because the problem nowadays in society, problem nowadays in the organization, a person basically always influenced by the external, you could say, stimulus, or external, you could say, factors. First of all, in order to find a solution, they are always actually busy in satisfying the external world. Okay, even though, like, when we talk about meditation, when we talk about resolving a particular issue, you are always actually not analyzing yourself, what exactly best you can do it out of that, but you are always actually focusing on the external stimuli. And that is one of the most, you could say, important, or you could say most important dimension about when, if a particular person can analyze himself for a particular situation, for a particular organization, definitely he or she can win it in each and every situation, because they know about their strengths and about their weaknesses. According to that, they can move further. Okay, now when we discuss about this self concept basically based on three grounds. Okay, so grounds of self concept may be physical, comma, social, and we can say spiritual, and moral, or moral well-being, you can say, or morality. I think that's a far better word. Okay, now when we discuss about this self concept, how you are analyzing when we come to physical appearance of an individual, when we talk about how a particular person is spiritually connected, when we come to the awareness. For example, if we talk about a particular religion, we talk about person, you could say belief. According to that, a particular individual always associated with that particular invisible power, that is a god. If we talk about spirituality, again the same concept. And the morality means basically on moral grounds, what are the work ethics which one must possess it out. Okay, so grounds of self concept may be physical, maybe social, maybe you could say spiritual, or maybe moral as well. Okay, now the self concept always derive from thinking process. Okay, now thinking process is all about nothing but role of cognition. Okay, always remember, self concept emerges from one's thinking. I think better word, one's thinking. Okay, now this thinking leads to cognition. Thinking, sorry, I think please kindly don't write anything on the screen. I'll request everyone. I'm not teaching to the students of schools, please. Okay, so I've disabled the annotations now. Please kindly don't do such practices. First thing. Okay, so self concept emerge from one's thinking, and it lead to the cognition as well. Okay, now when we discuss about the cognition, what do you mean by cognition? First of all, that we need to understand. Cognition is nothing but basically any knowledge, or we can say any opinion or belief about the environment, about oneself, or about one's behavior. Means how a particular individual is basically assessing the concept associated with a particular individual. So cognition is basically nothing but the knowledge, opinion, or belief about any environment, any organization, and how a particular individual is affecting from all such parameters. That is called your cognition. Okay, so when we discuss about the cognition represents represents any knowledge, we can say any opinion, or we can say any belief about environment, or you could say any organization about environment or oneself, or about himself, we can say, okay? Or we can say, or about one's behavior as well. If you are analyzing others' behavior as well, that is again the part of cognition. Cognition means how you are associating or related with a particular organization or a situation in the organization. Okay. And when we discuss about the, you could say different type of cognition, because as you know that, for example, if I'm working in an IT company and I have, you could say 5 colleagues, those who are very close to me. Okay. Because of that cognition, that association with all those 5 people, definitely I have certain sort of behavior towards those 5 and towards organization as well. Okay. Now these cognition basically, you could say emerge or involve in terms of expectation, certain planning, certain goal setting, certain evaluation, certain personal standard towards organizational behavior. Okay. So always remember different types of cognitions are expectations, we can say planning, we can say about goals, standards, etc. Okay. So major, you could say cognition, which one can actually assess from their colleagues, from their organization, from a third party individual. So these are the major part about the self concept. Analysis about yourself when it's come to social aspect, physical aspect, spiritual aspect, and moral aspect. How one thinks about, how one can actually derive the cognition because of their thinking process, and these cognition may lead to certain type of characteristics, which may be expectation, planning, goals, and standards. That is the meaning of self concept. Is it clear, everyone? Because under self concept we need to discuss 3 parts, that is self concept, self esteem, and self efficacy. Okay, right now we're discussing about self concept, how a particular person aware about himself or herself. Okay, the next point comes under self concept. Let me type this, I think so. The self concept having 3 parts. First of all, that is about the concept, means major core, then we have esteem, and then efficacy. Okay, now I'm going to move to the next part, that is about the self esteem. Okay, now when we discuss about the self esteem, okay, self esteem is basically nothing but the belief of someone over one's worth based on overall self evaluation. Like for example, you are working in a you could say in an IT firm. You are working since last 5 years. You are analyzing yourself, what exactly you are. It is basically the self concept. But when you're analyzing your worth, when you're analyzing your position, when you're analyzing or comparing yourself with other, and how you stand yourself when it's come to the self evaluation, okay, that is called the self esteem. Okay, so this is nothing but one's worth worth means value, their position, their you could say credibility. Okay, so one's worth based on an overall self evaluation. Okay, now when we discuss about such evaluation, basically a particular person may be high self esteem or low self esteem. High self esteem means when one is very happy with their worth in the market or in the organization, that is called the high self esteem. Okay, so high self esteem represents represents a person worthwhile, or we can say that capable and acceptable. Acceptable means he is basically happy with what they have achieved as of now. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the other, you could say positive traits, or you could say positive concept about high self-esteem. The high self-esteem basically always make an individual self-centered, boastful, and that particular person is basically when they face certain situation under pressure. Uh, a particular person, you could say, may become, you could say, may get frustrated very soon. Okay, so always remember, high self-esteem may leads to we can say, no, high self-esteem tends to self-centered. And as you can see, a self-centered means you are always selfish about yourself. Okay, but high self-esteem is good up to an extent, but it should not be under selfish motive, because you are only thinking about yourself. You're not bothered about your colleagues, your environment, your organization. So always remember, the moderate self-esteem is always desirable for an individual. Okay, so that is all about the high, you could say, self-esteem component in this case. Okay, now the important thing is that how manager can develop high self-esteem. Now definitely, because manager are the one leaders, they always influence, the motivate the employee of the company. How they can do that? Okay, there are basically 4 process through which they can actually increase high self-esteem in the company. Okay, the first part, be supportive. Second part, offer work variety, or you could say job changes, or you could say role changes. So work variety, autonomy, and challenges. Okay, that suits to one. Fine. The point number 3rd under this, trust building, and cohesiveness. Trust building and cohesiveness among the employees of the company. And the 4th part is basically self management ability and reward success. Because if the particular person is basically performing very well in the company, definitely one must have to support all these individual parameters. So very important that how a manager can basically build high self-esteem in the company. It is very, very important that one manager or a leader must have all these qualities to build the self-esteem among their employees. Okay. The last concept when it's come to self concept, which includes your self efficacy. Okay. Okay. Now, when we discuss about this self efficacy, is basically how a particular person may be successful after completing a particular task. Because, for example, you have assigned a particular, you could say, challenge or a project, and if you would able to complete that project within the you could say guidelines or the deadlines given by the company, definitely self efficacy would be on the higher side. But if you have delayed, if you have made some errors in completing your project, and in such a cases, self efficacy will be on the lower side. Okay, so always remember, the self efficacy in a simple meaning, it is person's belief about his or her chances of successfully accomplishing a specific task. Okay. Now, these particular, you could say, high self-efficacy I'm talking right now, the very important part. the high self-efficacy means self-efficacy means high success rate. In a simple language, if you can say high success rate in the company. And because the high success rate, basically how one can actually achieve the self-efficacy, how to achieve self-efficacy. The number one, it could be because how one can actually perform as per the expectation of the company. The first and the foremost thing, the first and foremost thing is basically all about physical and mental task. How physically and mentally you are strong for that. Physical and mental, you could say strength, if we can say a simple word right now. The second may be anxiety reduction, or in a simple language, if I can say how one can control himself. Okay, anxiety reduction, addiction control, how addicted you are for a particular thing, which may be personal, maybe professional. Addiction control. Then we can say the pain tolerance, how passionate you are, or how you are keeping up patience in the company. Illness recovery, lot many points are there covering different dimensions of a particular situation. So illness recovery, there are so many actually things which we can cover up under how a particular person can achieve self-efficacy in the organization. Okay, so I hope so these points are clear about what is self-concept, self-esteem, and self-efficacy. Okay, so I'm unmuting everyone, and if you have any query till this point, you can just ask a query now, please. Yes, you can move now. Yes, student, is there any query to anyone? In the self concept we're talking right now. Concept, esteem, and efficacy.
So if a person is working in an organization and he is not satisfied with that position, and he wants to be successful in that, like in marketing department he is working. So how he will develop this self-esteem, sir?
Self-esteem. Okay. See, first of all, like as we discuss about the evaluation. Okay. What is your position? For example, like being a faculty. For example, if I'm working in an institute as an assistant professor. Okay. And the work or the credibility or the authenticity which I have developed in the company is not actually meeting as per the expectation, or like for example, if I'm comparing myself with some other faculties or with some other colleagues in the organization, what is your value in the company? What is your you could say priority in the company when it's come to decision making, when it's come to certain important tasks, certain positions assigned to you, when it's come to HOD, when it's come to different you could say a team if you want to build up. So like same you ask about the marketing as well. For example, if you're working in a marketing company and certain marketing targets are you always there, sales targets are always there. Okay, but you are not actually fulfilling the expectation of the company, or you're not able to fulfill the targets of the company. In such a cases, the important thing is that how, see, there may be many reasons behind non-completion of all those targets. Maybe because of the market, or you could say maybe because the reason the company is not actually credible enough to so the you could say the customer may actually inclined, or may actually you could say attracted towards company's product. Now the important thing in this particular case, that in order to develop the high self-esteem, either the particular person have to change his job, or he need to actually reassess where he or she is basically going wrong. Okay, because I think Miss Poonam, you can understand, because in the personal and professional life as well, one,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
achieving self-esteem
Yes, sir.
is one of the most challenging tasks. It's all about whether you are happy with yourself, what you exist or what you possess right now. Because problem nowadays is all about a person is always thinking beyond their imagination, beyond their capacity actually. And that is the main reason
Yes.
of frustration and you could say anxiety, depression in the individuals.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I hope so. Am I clear with this?
So I have gone this organization behavior book, Ashwath Thapa book, sir.
Yeah, it's
So the
fantastic.
first case was, yes, the first case was that the man who worked in organization, his department was continuously changing, but at last he resigns. So why he resigns the job, sir?
You just send it to me on WhatsApp. I'll see that. Okay.
Ashwath Thapa books, so the first case is there. The man who was working in the organization, he was allotted to different departments from time to time. So he
Okay.
became unhappy and he resigned. And he resigned because he was not promoted and his junior was promoted.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Definitely. I have I think hard copy or soft copy of that book. I'll definitely look after and we'll discuss those cases, ma'am. If you want, we can discuss in the classes only.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So any more query, please, with this self concept, efficacy, and esteem.
So, sir, I want to know that how self-esteem in our daily life can be maintained, sir.
See, like as you can see that we always know the person is always, you could say, surrounded with lot of negative vibes. Okay, which what a person
Yes.
actually perceives. See, important thing is that you always, like if I'll take my example only over here. Okay, because I have seen in my profession as well, people are not all satisfied what they have achieved. They always actually curse themselves only. For example, if you have reached the position of assistant manager, you could say regional manager, salesman, whatever position you always appease that. Now problem actually in the in an individual is always that he always need to understand or analyze their progress step by step. You cannot directly jump from first step to 10th step. Okay, that is a major problem because each and every individual having their own journey, on you could say challenges, on comfort when we come to personal life. So you cannot compare because problem is that the particular person is not able to achieve something or he's very frustrated or you could say not happy with their personal professional life is because of the basically the comparison which he always do. See, comparison is important, but up to what extent, on what ground you want to compare yourself, it is one of the important criteria when a particular person is actually analyze himself or herself, what exactly he has done in his life in last 10 years, 15 years, whatsoever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I think, Ms. Poonam, this is the topic which we are discussing right now. It is more about psychology. It's more about discussion. It's more about how composed, how mentally strong you are when it's come to certain situations.
Yes, sir. Sir.
I hope so.
Sir, I have. Yes, sir. I have seen your CV. It is very nice, sir. Yes.
My CV.
Yes, sir. Your professional qualifications in on LinkedIn, sir.
Okay, okay, that's great. Because see, I'm actually a freelancer, so I have worked with at least so many institutes in India.
Sir, you have achieved the class 1 position in bank also.
Yes, yes, I was in Vijaya Bank actually. Previously, I was working with that in Mumbai.
Yes, sir. I have gone through here.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
So any more query to anyone? If not, then we'll go for a break of 10 minutes and we'll move to the next 3 dimensions of individual behavior. That is about
Yes,
the
sir. Yes.
multi-dimension,
Oh,
abilities and personal value and
yes.
ethics. Okay, because see, try to understand, I am
Yes.
just trying to provide as quality input from my side about this subject because I have to cover up theory along with some case studies as well. So I'm just giving a basic examples to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Sir.
Okay, so we are going for a
Okay,
break
sir.
of
Thank you.
10 minutes and we'll get back to it 6:05 sharp. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you so much. Yes, student, we should continue now, I think. Okay. So the next head which we need to cover up now, that is about the personality dimension. Okay. The next head. Okay. So the next point under the dimensions of individual behavior, that is about your personality dimension. Now, when we discuss about the personality dimension, definitely there are basically 5 major dimensions which we always assess about individual personality. Okay. These dimensions are basically, the first one is called your extroversion. The second one is called agreeableness. The third part is thoroughness. Then we talk about emotional stability. And the last one is openness to experience. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the 5 personality dimension, the extroversion. Okay. Extroversion is how open he is, how constructive, how positive one can think about in a situation. Agreeableness is how basically the negotiation, how basically he is basically, you could say, putting their word forward in order to face a particular situation. Thoroughness, you already know how technically sound he is, how actually mentally tough he or she is when it's come to certain situation. Emotional stability is the same only, and openness to experience. Okay, because he's always ready to face challenges. That is a part of what your openness to experience. Okay. Now, these particular dimensions are always basically associated with the job performance, and these you could say dimensions of personality, because we'll discuss later on about the personality dimensions in the personality topic. Okay, these personality dimensions are basically always create sense of responsibility and determination of a particular person, whether a particular person is basically justifying a position or justifying a particular problem, or how one can tackle certain situation. These are the major constituents of that. Okay. Now, the physical and intellectual quality, when we talk about, there are certain grounds for that. Okay. Let me type this, I think so. That is the next part which we're going to discuss. That is about the physical and intellectual qualities. Sorry. Physical and intellectual qualities. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the physical quality and intellectual quality, as you can see that, because these are the major 2 personality trait or differences of individual behavior. Okay. The intellectual differences are basically, you could say, more difficult to understand, but physical differences we can actually see and we can observe very easily. Okay. But when we discuss about the assessment of the intellectual differences, these intellectual differences may be categorized on the following grounds. Okay. The first one is ability. Now, ability may be physical or may be intellectual. Physical as well as intellectual, definitely. Now, what is ability, first of all? That we need to understand. What is ability? If you can talk about what is ability, nothing but skill to perform. Okay, that is about the skills to perform a particular activity. Now, this activity or this ability may be physical. We can also write down mental as well and intellectual. Mental as well as intellectual. Okay, but I think mental and intellectual are quite similar, so rather write down only physical and intellectual. Fine. The next part, we have skill set or USPs of an individual. Okay, unique selling propositions. Okay, now in this skill set, we always thought about that a task specific qualities. We can say that. Task specific qualities, how a particular person is basically more intellectual, knowledgeable, technically sound for a particular domain or dimension. That is called the task specific qualities. That is a part of skills. The next part is competencies. Now, when we discuss about the competencies, in a simple word, we can say that it is about specialization of someone. Like, for example, if I'm specialized in a particular subject teaching, management, so definitely it is my competencies or my, you could say, USP or my, you could say, forte when it's come to my working profile. Okay. And always remember, these competencies can only be achieved by what we can say, these competencies can achieve by practice, we can say, and experience of an individual. Okay. The next and the fourth part which come under this category is, I think we are done with this skills. We are done with, yeah, I think 3 is sufficient for that, because there are at least 10 to 12, but no need to discuss about that. The major 3 physical intellectual properties: ability, skills, and competencies. Okay. So I think so this part is clear to everyone. Okay. And then we'll move to the next point or the next topic. That is about the models. Okay. The psychological process of behavior. Okay. I think Raksha having some doubt. Yes, Raksha, you can unmute yourself and please ask your query now.
Yeah, will you please enhance the competencies part?
Yeah, sure. Shall I repeat that?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. See, try to understand these 3 different basic differences. Ability, which may be physical or intellectual, means how creative one can think. When it's come to innovation, when it's come to creativity, when it's come to how a particular person can think differently, it is ability, physical or mental, we can say. Skills is basically task specific quality. For example, if you are approaching to do a job and you want to apply for, you could say, you could say as a finance expert in a bank, so you must have that specific qualification, that certain certification, certain, you could say, experience of the past, or certain degree associated with that. That is called the skill set. Now you would be more refined, you would be, you could say, more you could say filtered, more, you could say more, you could say, polished when it's come to, once you will gain the experience or the practices, or once you will actually jump into that mud and actually dirty your hand, then you will be actually specialized in something, and that is called the competencies. I hope so that part is clear. If you want to actually make yourself more specialized in something, definitely you can go for from ability to skills to competencies. Miss Raksha, I think, is it clear? You can unmute yourself as well.
Yes, the competencies is both the combination of ability and skills.
Definitely, yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
for example, if I want to become a scientist, okay, I must have that physical and mental strength first of all. Then I will actually start developing my strength, and I just want to enhance my skill set by actually doing some certification, certain courses, certain internships, okay, certain role play. After that, once I'll actually jump into that profession, I will actually having some experience, knowledge about the actual reality of the market, and that will actually give this specialization to someone. Ms. Raksha, is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Let's move to the next part. Okay. So the next part, we have the psychological process of behavior. Okay. Psychological process of behavior. Okay. Now, 1 minute. There are basically 2 models, okay, which is called SR model and SOBA model, okay, which actually define the process of behavior of an individual. Okay. So I'll just actually copy those diagrams. Just give me 1 minute of time from my screen, and we'll discuss those SR and SOBA model. Okay. Just a minute, please. Yeah. Fine. So first we have SR model, and then we have SOBA model. Yeah, fine. So let's start with the first part. Let me copy those details on the screen. Yeah, 1 minute, please. Is it SR model? And second is the SOBA model. Okay, so let me share my screen again, and we'll discuss this part. Yes. So the first model we have, which is called the SR model, the stimulus response model. Okay. Now, when we discuss about stimulus nothing but basically the situation which you will face in the organization, and according to that, you will react, you will respond to that situation or to person, to the company. Okay. The SR model is basically one of the most basic model we can say, which analyze the human behavior, which is of two types. The first one is the internal feeling and the external environment. Okay, because always whenever we are analyzing the human behavior, we think differently from inside and we act differently outside. For example, if you could say your company is planning to launch a new product, and you are the head of that team actually, which will go for the marketing. Okay, internally you might have different feeling about that project, whether I would get succeed or whether I would be able to achieve the target, whether I would be able to happy my boss or not. Internal feeling. How externally you will perform, it's quite different. Stimulus response, how a particular person is basically having certain inputs, targets, challenges. According to that, he will actually develop the organism means the process, or the thought process, the think tank, which how you will react upon it, and accordingly you will respond, you will give the output in the environment. Okay, now this basically internal feeling, if we talk about, it may consist of some motivational factor. And when we talk about the you could say external environment, there maybe you could say your boss, your colleagues, any other third party entity may affect your response, may affect your efficiency when it's come to certain part. Okay, but always remember, the stimulus may be internal or may be external. Okay, when you talk about external stimulus, which may be anything, which may be physical as well, which may be related to a particular person as well. Okay, so always remember, the stimulus means as per situation, how a particular person will respond. It is totally depends on the organism. Okay, organism may be internal feeling or external feeling. Let me, I think, write it down over here. This organism may be internal feeling, or it may be, you could say, external environment. Because of that, your response may differ. Because these type of models are basically practically applicable in real life as well. Okay, because for example, in your family, there are certain, you could say, problem arises, or certain, you could say, issue arises. Internal feeling may be different, but how you will act, because of the pressure, because of the sympathy, because of the emotions which you have inside, according to that you might react differently, and you may be influenced by the external environment as well, with your relative, with your friends, with some other, you could say, parameters as well. So that is a very basic model about stimulus response model. The second model we have, which is called SOBA model. Okay, the second model is called your SOBA model. SOBA means stimulus, organism, behavior, and accomplishment. This is called SOBA model. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the SOBA model, is basically the combination of SR model and human being. Okay. In this case, the organism, okay, or the factors, if we talk about, it may be immobile as well. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the SOBA model, in this case, we have stimulus, organism, behavior, and accomplishment. What is the meaning of stimulus, first of all? Stimulus means any external environmental situation. Stimulus means external situation. That is called your stimulus. When we discuss about the organism, okay, this organism may be, you could say, any heredity, knowledge, skills, and attitude. How you are actually using your strength to face all those challenges. So this organism may be, we can say, knowledge, experience, knowledge, experience. We can talk about your skills, etc. Okay. When we discuss about the behavior, section, now these behavior section may be basically your action, your facial expression, your emotions. So this includes emotions, facial expressions. When we talk about thinking, or body movements, or you could say body actions, we can say. So definitely these behavior always actually give the sense of feeling or sense of, you could say, replication about an individual reaction towards a particular situation in the organization. Okay. The accomplishment with the last part, when we talk about accomplishment, basically the consequences of behavior, what exactly will happen after your reaction towards a particular situation. Okay. So in the simple language, we can say it is nothing but consequences of behavior. Okay. So I hope so this part is clear. It's very simple actually about how a particular person react in certain situation. According to that, the SR and SOVA model is there. In SR model, the only thing is that just situation and you are responding. There is no factor associated about this particular behavior approach. So only thing is that the behavioral aspect is different in this case. Okay. Okay. Now, the last topic, I think that will start from tomorrow because we have to start personality. Okay. So that will start from tomorrow only. Okay. Factors influencing individual behavior. I think let it complete today only. Fine. Just the last topic. That is factors affecting individual behavior. Okay. Now, the first factor which we'll discuss on tomorrow in detail, actually the first is personality. Okay. Second is economic factors, which may be your wage rate, your increment, your employment opportunity. Second is socio-cultural. Next is only cultural. Then we have organizational factor. Then we have motivation. Because these all are the different traits we have which affect individual behavior. Attitude, values. We talk about abilities. This may be, you could say, mental or physical. We talk about perception. And then we have some personal factors. So major, you could say, point, we'll discuss all these points one by one throughout this particular syllabus. Personality, economic factors, socio-cultural, and so on. From tomorrow, we'll start this particular topic that is about the personality, the first topic of this particular page. Okay. So I'm just opening the house for discussion now, and any doubts we have, else we'll start the personality topic from tomorrow. Okay. So let me unmute everyone. Yes, students. Now you can unmute yourself, and if you have any query, please do let me know.
So please explain again the difference between the SR model and SOBA model.
SOBA model. See, SR model is a very basic model, first of all, which only considered about a particular situation and its response. This particular model is actually missing with the concept of human reaction, which maybe you could say angry, which maybe you could say frustrated, happy. So that factor is basically covered under SOBA model. Only thing difference is behavioral part, emotional, facial expression, thinking process, body action. With this particular, you could say intangible, or you could say non-verbal reflection, you can actually assess the particular person behavior as well. Sometimes yeah. Please, please.
So then where this SR model is used, sir, in organization?
SR is basically very basic model. Okay. Very basic model, which is nothing but, for example, you saw a cat and you screamed. Stimulus response, very basic model. But your behavioral aspect is also analyzed under SOBA model.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
But see, SOBA is based on SR only. Always remember. It's an extension of SR model.
Okay, sir.
But basically, sir, SOBA model is working in the industry mostly using the SOBA model, I think so.
Definitely, yes.
It is the because totally dependency on the SOBA model.
Definitely.
Because the SR model is the basic model, but main industry depend on the SOBA model.
Definitely.
I think so.
No, you are correct about it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for your response, actually. So students, any query till this point? Because we are done with individual behavior now. And tomorrow we'll start personality and different traits of personality, types of personality in detail, actually. Only personal topic we'll cover up tomorrow.
Yes, sir, no queries, sir.
No query. Anyone else, please? Anuj, Prakash, Raksha, Vinod, Gaurav.
No queries.
No queries? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anuj. Thank you so much.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Thank you, sir.
For the day. And student, one thing, please
Okay, sir.
remember, join by the same link on daily basis. Okay, same link. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much, everyone. Please take care. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Okay, sir.